Audience, welcome to Viewpoint from Overseas. I'm your host Faraz Darvesh. US-Pakistan relations. Now, it's a very unique and very complicated question whether US and Pakistan are close allies, or whether they are regular, normal allies, or whether they are non-allies, or whether they are enemies. So this is a very, depending on who you ask, people will give you various different answers because historically, US and Pakistan have been very close allies in terms of Cold War, and then war against terror. But then they've had some serious disagreements, on the OBL issue, on the Taliban issue in Afghanistan. So relationship has been fluctuating. And this is very common among countries. The relationship is not based on the love. The relationship is based on the interest. And interests do change. Sometimes they converge and then sometimes they diverge. So today we'll discuss about the Prime Minister Imran Khan visit to Washington, where he will be meeting President Donald Trump. What will be the outcome? What should Pakistan try to get as an economic package? How can Pakistan strengthen its ties, military as well as the economic ties with US? Looks like relationship between Pakistan and US has improved. So I'll take it over to Riaz Haq. I have Riaz Haq with me and Sawad Ashraf. Riaz, let me begin with you. Tell me, if Prime Minister Imran Khan were to call you and ask you, what should I present in this visit to President Donald Trump, and what should I try to get out of this visit best for Pakistan? Because we all have an agreement that Pakistan is going through economic crisis. So over to you.
Yeah, I think it's important to remind Prime Minister Imran Khan of how the relationship has been changing in the last year or so, starting with the Trump tweet that Pakistan has given us nothing but lies and deceit, and we have given billions of dollars to Pakistan. We've got nothing in return. From that to today, where the United States is working very closely with Pakistan to try and resolve the Afghan crisis. And as a result of this closer cooperation, we have seen a number of positive signals from the United States. One signal that went out was that the United States did not block the IMF bailout, which it had promised to do earlier, that it would block it. They were threatening to block it. The other important news that has come out is that the United States has declared BLA, the Baloch Liberation Army, as a terrorist organization, which was a long-standing demand of Pakistan for the United States to do. Another very important, change is that Pakistan did not get on the FATF blacklist. It's still on the gray list, and there is at least one Indian diplomat, Mr. Badra Kumar, believes that at the next plenary session of the FATF, Pakistan will be off the gray list as well. Okay. So there are a number of positive things that have happened. General Mark Milley, the man named by President Trump to be the next Joint Chief, Chair of Joint Chiefs, has also given testimony recently as part of his confirmation hearing, in which he has said that it's very important for the United States to have close ties, strong ties with the Pakistani military. So, they see Pakistan as a key partner in achieving United States interests in South Asia, including developing a political settlement in Afghanistan, defeating Al-Qaeda and ISIS Khorasan, and providing logistical aid for U.S. forces.
So, Riaz, the problem is there are a list of complaints that U.S. has had against Pakistan, and Pakistan has had similar complaints against U.S. The problem becomes is, in terms of the trade dependency is hardly there between US and Pakistan. The dependency has always been a military dependency, the security level dependencies where US needs Pakistan to go against a terrorist group, and Pakistan has. What should Prime Minister Imran Khan try to get from an economic perspective for Pakistan, as Pakistan is facing an economic crisis?
Yeah, so there are a number of areas where Pakistan can use the United States' help. One of the areas is to support the lending institutions, the major international financial institutions, like the World Bank, like the Asian Development Bank, like the Islamic Development Bank, and other such banks, to support Pakistan's efforts to build its economy, to develop itself economically. And that seems to be already happening. There's a indication that about $34 billion have been committed by these different international financial institutions for Pakistan over the next 5 years. So that's a good sign. Another one is FATF, that helped Pakistan get off that list. And I think the United States is probably willing to do that. Another one is to give some trade preferences to Pakistan, greater access to Pakistani goods. There is currently a GSP plus arrangement, general preferences and trades with Pakistan. Pakistan should seek an expansion of that. I think the limit today is like a couple of $2 billion. They should seek an expansion to $5 billion.
So these are the areas of opportunity.
These are great areas of opportunity which can help Pakistan recover from its current economic crisis.
Okay. So, about over to you. If Imran Khan, Prime Minister Imran Khan were to call you, what would you recommend to him to get best out of US for Pakistan in terms of economic package and all that? Yeah.
Let's get to that. And as Riyaz Saab said, history is very important here to understand patterns. But before we go there, let's quickly recap what's going to happen. On next Sunday, on the 21st, Imran Khan Saab is addressing a community event in Washington, D.C. at 4 p.m. at the Capital One Arena. That is a community event. It is not organized by the embassy or official. It is organized by the PTI in the US and Pakistan American community. On the 22nd, he's meeting with Donald Trump, the President of the United States. And then on the 23rd, the other event we know about is he has an appearance at the US Institute of Peace. Having said that, the relationship that the US and Pakistan have had has always been rather transactional. Even though personally I am one of those people who believes there is a lot that the US and Pakistan have in common, culturally, socially, and through the Cold War, Pakistan was, from the founding fathers of Pakistan onwards, chose to side with the West and with the free world, so to speak. However, the US never actually went beyond just that transactional security relationship. And which brings us to your question. If someone was asking me, or my advice, or what I advocate for within the community and in the media is that Pakistan should be pushing to try to break that line, get into beyond, like what was that? The Kerry Lugar bill was trying to do. Try to get beyond just the transactional security establishment. Get trade preferences as much as we can, get credit. Right. And there is a lot the president can do on his own, the president of the United States can do on his own to expand these facilities and financial stuff. So because the security agenda is going to be on the table. Right. Whether Pakistan likes it or not, the US will bring that up.
Okay. Riaz, and then there are groups and there are complaints, for example, freedom of press, there are complaints about PTM, there are complaints about human rights violation in Pakistan, which are often on the table. And there are groups protesting whenever any high dignitary from Pakistan is visiting West or perhaps US. Now, there are complaints that military establishment, Imran Khan, and there is a perception, which may not be a reality, but it's a perception that Imran Khan is a face of military. Imran Khan does not have actual powers to run the country. The country is being run by the military establishment. Imran Khan is just a face. So given all that, how do you think, how seriously would the military establishment, to the Pentagon, to the Washington will take Imran Khan? How seriously will they take him?
Oh, they'll take him very seriously. First of all, I disagree that he's just the face of the military. I think he has his own support. He's got a lot of votes, a significant number of votes. He has a lot of seats in parliament. So he did actually win the election. But having both the military and the civil government on the same page is actually very positive for the United States. They don't have to worry about whatever commitments are made. They know they'll be carried out. That's not going to be an issue for them. So it's a positive. And as far as human rights and all this other stuff is concerned, do you think Trump cares if Trump cared about that, the first guys that would be, targeted would be the Saudi king and the royal family there. I mean, they just killed this guy, Khashoggi, not just killed him brutally, cut him to pieces, And then Trump says, well, those are our friends. So I don't think it's a concern. It's a matter of concern. Pakistan does nothing like, killing Khashoggi type people and cutting them into pieces. I mean, they do have some controls on the press, which I think if you compare Pakistan to any other, a Muslim country, a third world country, Pakistan is far, far better in terms of freedom of the press.
Well, then there is oil dependency. President Trump has on Saudi Arabia, but there is no dependency. There is no such dependency on Pakistan.
There is. No, if there were no dependency, why would the United States be talking to Pakistan? They wouldn't talk to them.
So basically, but what you mean dependency, you mean military dependency.
The security issues, there's terrorism. I mean, all these things matter. I mean, economy. And these things are not unrelated; they're tied together.
Okay, so let's just wrap it up. Last words: if Prime Minister Imran Khan were to call you, and ask you for what should be on the agenda to discuss with President Trump and with the U.S. establishment, what would you recommend?
I think the number one priority from Pakistani standpoint has to be the economy.
Okay,
that's where Pakistan needs the most help. And there are several components to it, as we just discussed. We're not asking for economic aid from the United States, but be helpful in terms of keeping us off the FATF, supporting lending to Pakistan by other institutions, and giving us trade preferences.
Okay.
I would again go back to that. There is what Riyaz Saab said. There is two levels. There is the emergent problem, right? The immediate problem is the balance of payments and all of that, which is where the US can help, quote unquote, because they created the problem in the first place. The IMF, the World Bank is support there. But then keep pushing for longer term and deeper solutions.
Okay. Riyaz, Sawad, thank you so much, audience. We hope for the success of Prime Minister Imran Khan's visit next week. After the visit, we will have some more to talk about. Until then, let us know your feedback, your inputs, your comments. Until then, goodbye.
Okay.